I recently had a collaboration with one of the authors of Hudson Valley Ruins, an awesome jam-packed book that tells the history of ruins and abandonments in the Hudson Valley area. We are here with one of the authors of Hudson Valley Ruins, Rob. Yeah. Hi, Rob.
Hello.
Where is he? He's hiding.
We're back here.
Well, there's the Explorers.
Short one.
And there's the Wandering Woodsman. And we're gonna explore the Cornish ruins. Watch the...
Oh, that poopy.
That is poopy. Hudson Valley area is actually a treasure trove of history for abandoned or lost history seekers like myself. On this exploration, I joined the YouTubers The Wandering Woodsman and the Explorers. So this was the actual driveway for the Cornish Estate. So check out this retaining wall. So here's a rock outcropping, and Rob says that there are pictures of Edward and Selena on this. That's actually pretty nice. It's a lot of poison ivy.
Turn. And there was a little pond and this stream and waterfall here.
So the water goes underneath. Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, this actually washed out a few summers ago and this had to be rebuilt, but the water would normally come right under here, yes. We started to write and collect images for these interpretive signs, which were installed with funding from New York State Parks and Trails. And there are now about 21 or 22 of these around the entire 650-acre property. And their historic images are placed in the spot where they were taken. So if you're over there, you'll see a photograph of the house from that spot, for example.
Very cool. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Great job.
So the photographs come from two sources. The earliest photographs are from a descendant of Sigmund and Dove Stern. They were in the collection of a woman named Robin Huntington, who I found out through her relative Connie Bloom, who actually lived in Westchester County near me. And those photographs are from about 1912 to 1916. Actually, some of the earlier ones show the house before it was even built, so probably before 1910, some of the oldest photos. And then a woman named Tori Rosh, who is descended from Joel O'Donnell Cornish, a nephew of Sigmund a nephew of Edward and Selina Cornish. Also contacted me around 2010 with images from about 1917 up to maybe the early 1930s.
Wow. In 1917, Edward Joel Cornish and his wife Selina acquired 650 acres of land in Cold Spring, New York, known as Northgate. They purchased it from Sigmund Stern, a diamond merchant from New York City. Stern had spent the previous decade constructing an elaborate estate on the property, featuring a mansion, garage, swimming pool, gardens, and other buildings.
So before the Sterns built the estate, this area had been a bunch of different small farms all up and down what was the old Breakneck Valley Road. So you can see when the estate was developed, there were just very few trees on the property here.
So there is a pool. And the ruins are right up here. Oh, wow, they look more bigger than I thought. Wow.
So water was collected from springs and taken through pipes and fed into this opening into the pool over there, and it would drain out over here and cascade down the hill, and the rock was engineered to divert the water down further toward the Hudson River.
Wow.
How deep was this on the deep end?
I'm sorry?
How deep was this on the deep end?
I don't know. I'm not sure how deep it was. I don't think it was probably too deep,
There's stairs over here. Yeah.
So beautiful.
Cliff is setting up shop. Wow. Oh, look at those. Oh, Chris, look at the ruins. Right? The West Lawn. Wow. Absolutely gorgeous. I love that they have these plaques here. That plaque has the when it was in its prime, and the pool too. And what a view they had. Wow. So Rob said that they've recently uncovered this pathway. And this is the view they would have had. The stairway. Well, that stairway is actually pretty long. Did it go all the way down to the bottom?
I don't know how far down it went. Probably connected with all the other staircases around this line here. There probably was just a path that went around. In the 1960s, there were plans to build 2 power plants, and Central Hudson Gas and Electric actually bought this estate as they were going to build a power plant at the bottom of Breakneck. And Con Edison wanted to build one at Storm King. And Central Hudson gave up their plans after just a few years and gave this property or sold it to New York State for the formation of Hudson Highlands State Park. That property was under consideration for a power plant until the early 1980s, when the Supreme Court ruled against Con Ed, basically saying that the power plant would have an adverse effect on the environment, would draw in fish eggs and kill the fish populations in the area. So it was a key movement in the environmental law movement where that case was allowed to be brought forth by citizens who were concerned about protecting the environment.
Wow, these are gorgeous. Even some tiles?
Yeah, there were tiles in the porch here. There's one set to your left that's intact. Yes, the others have been taken out.
Put on wide view. Wow. Edward and Selena purchased the estate shortly after its completion and the passing of Stern's first wife. The property became commonly referred to as the Cornish Estate Ruins among hikers. A multi-tier fireplace.
Look at it.
1, 2.
It's on all sides.
Definitely thunder.
Hopefully it stays over there. Wow. So normally you can see where the first floor is with the with the holes, they would have held the joists.
Sure. Yeah, there were 2 main floors to the house and probably an attic space above that.
Wow, this is incredible.
As far as these mansions go, it might have been a little bit smaller in square footage inside the building than some of the other grand homes in the area.
Wow. That looks like bathroom tile there. You can see some of the wood charred too. Cliff, you should see this fireplace on a tippy top over here. Wow, wow, wow. So this would have been like the wagon port or the carport.
Yeah, that's why that is fenced off. And there's been talk of fencing off the entire ruin for the house. That one of them is vacating by people out there.
Wow.
That's I worry about this year.
Yeah, is it hollow underneath?
You! That's a fireplace I was talking about.
Oh, way up there.
Yeah, that's awkward.
That oval window there was a stained glass window designed by a company out of Philadelphia, and they had an image of a column in the corner of it. There was kind of setting up the view of a pergola that went down the lawn over there, on the base of which you can see the base of the column still stand out there.
What is
Oh.
that right above the opening there? Is that wood? Is that what is that? You see the opening like with the fireplace?
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly that is up there.
Wow.
That has been part of the finished decoration. Is that where there was that famous abandoned church that everybody goes to? Yeah, the one that went through kind of like a rounded interior.
Okay, that's what the Hudson Valley Ruins.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's sealed up real tight. Somebody
Wow.
bought it. There were just so many people. Somebody bought it here.
Please stay away. Please stay away. Now there's like fireplaces all over the place, and this one's like hanging on the edge.
This is my house. you get your own.
Just needs a roof,
Get your own place.
maybe some spackle. Wow. So we are approaching the greenhouse now. This is the greenhouse, right?
This is the greenhouse, and there were 2 barns over here. And we have 1 or 2 photographs that show parts of the building, and they're kind of in the background. So we don't have a good image of those 2 buildings, but we do know they existed over there. And we know that the Stearns had horses and carriages when they first came up here. So probably 1 building for vehicles and maybe a staff person to live in. I'm not sure. And then there was probably a building for the horses. And there were 2 or 3 small ruins down below that may have had livestock facilities too. We're not sure what kind of animals that might have lived up over there. Maybe sheep, maybe chickens, or some other kinds of birds. But there were 3 buildings that we're not really sure what they were for.
What they served. Gotcha. I guess this will be a good spot to hang out under.
Yeah, there's a little bit of shelter under there. So the Cornishes had palm trees on the porch of the house. We think they would have kept them in here in the wintertime and put them out in the house in the summer.
That makes sense. There's shelter in here, Cliff.
No, I didn't think that.
You want to go down? You can take it.
Thank you so much. I never refuse a flush.
Cliff, there's a basement.
Yeah, I saw the hole out there. I think I have a light along.
Sorry.
There's no cave crickets. I promise.
I don't know what you call cave crickets, and
No, I didn't see any.
the stairs are kind of iffy, huh?
They're steep.
Well, no, they're a little slippery. Hold on, Cliff. I'll give you the light in a minute.
Well, no, just a little basement though. You could keep your kids down here, Kat.
Probably could. Yeah. Stuff growing from the ceiling. Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Down up. That's part of the main road.
All right, so this right here, it's kind of covered in weeds. This was the foundation of the barn. That is the retaining wall up there. More retaining wall. Oh, wow.
Years ago, but it's all collapsed. It's just a stone foundation now. You're not going to see it with all this overgrowth,
Yeah,
but
you
it is
can't
under
even-
there. And it's just beyond it was where the original farmhouse was located, which is also in some of the historic pictures.
Get down there.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's pretty deep.
There are the steps.
Yeah.
The steps of mine. Oh, there's a room in. Oh, I see. There's a door.
Yeah, there's a whole room. Did they build around a rock?
Yeah, you see that.
It's actually cool. They built around the rock.
Yeah, pretty neat.
It is.
Build it around a rock. Like a rock.
Bob Seger. Let's go visit Cliff. There's like a hole. Is it mesh or chicken wire? Oh, it's chicken wire. Oh, we were just up there. All right.
And went further up toward Lake Surprise, so there were a number of farms up along the road in either direction that predated the estate.
Oh wow, so this was the original road. Right here. Oh, this rain needs to stop. Here it comes. Ah! Wow. Like a little tunnel there. So they think that this was a barn that predates the Cornish Estate. Very cool. It's actually been preserved pretty well. Little ramp. There's a waterfall right over there. You're fine. Yeah. So we just came down the path a little bit. Look at this retaining wall. Rob and Cliff are up there. And that waterfall, it's right here. The pump house. Ooh, Daddy Longleaf. This was the pump house. It's filled with leaves. Terracotta lining on the inside. Ooh, there's more falls. Chris! More falls. That's pretty wild. You can actually see it. Tragically, both Edward and Selina passed within 2 weeks of each other in May of 1938. A year prior to his death, Edward Cornish expressed his desire to donate the Cold Spring property to the state of New York, aiming to protect it from commercial and industrial activities, such as quarrying on nearby Mount Taurus. However, state park commissioners rejected his offer, claiming that the mountainous terrain was unsuitable for a public park and that the property was already safeguarded by restrictions against quarrying. Following the deaths of Edward and Selina, their nephew Joel assumed primary responsibility for managing the Cornish estate in the following decades. While the estate was believed to have been maintained until the 1950s, it was likely that it was not. The mansion and the property fell into disarray. A significant fire in 1958 destroyed most of the mansion, and the remaining wooden structures gradually deteriorated over time, leaving behind the stone walls as remnants of the original buildings. In 1963, Cornish heirs sold the estate to Central Hudson Gas and Electric, marking a turning point where conservation efforts once again became a focus. The ruins of the Cornish estate eventually became part of the newly formed Hudson Highlands State Park by the end of the 1960s. Plans for a power plant on Breakneck Ridge, initially considered by Central Hudson Gas and Electric, were abandoned. The conservation battle to preserve Storm King across the Hudson River continued into the 1980s, led by various environmental groups. So far, that has been a success.